Welcome to DU Digimon.
Hello and welcome to DU Digimon. This obviously behind me is not a deck profile, it's just the endless void. We will be going to our regularly scheduled programming for this deck profile in just a moment, but I had to change the intro a little bit because we've made 1k subscribers. We've done it. We've made 1k subscribers. I mean, holy I don't even know what to say. Just thank you, all of you. Whether you're subscribers of the channel, people that have viewed the channel, if you've shared the content, if you've if you've commented, if you've collaborated, so Digidane, BB Dudes, Team Death Slinger, you guys, if it's Agito Swiftly for sharing one of our latest videos to help us get over the edge, thank you. To all of my team, thank you guys. You're my locals mates, the guys who deal with me losing my temper when I go badly at a game, or, you know, just deal with me playing the same deck every week whilst I'm testing stuff. Thank you for making content for this channel, editing content for this channel, that's specifically to Dan, filming content, that's straight away going towards any of the guys who have done like Jank Tank profiles, or like people like Alex and Charles, for Sam, Dane, Dan, Beardy Dan that is, but also other Dan. Thank you guys, just thank you all of you, thank you every single one of you who has made this channel get to 1,000 subscribers. I know 1,000 subscribers is not like the most in terms of the grand scheme of YouTube, we're not exactly turning into Mr. Beast overnight, but I'm still over the fucking moon. Thank you every single one of you. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Hello and welcome to DU Digimon, and welcome to another deck profile. If you're liking this sort of content, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ding that notification bell so you're not missing out on the latest content. Speaking of subscribing and liking and all that sort of stuff, by the time this video comes out, we may have made it to 1,000 subscribers. Last time I checked, we were 5 subscribers away, which, if we made it to 1,000 by the time this video comes out, yes, thank you. Thank you to every single person that has subscribed to the channel. Thank you for subscribing to get us to 1,000. If we're not yet at 1,000, thank you anyway, because holy crap, we're so freaking close. Once we're there, I have no idea what we're going to do to celebrate. Comment below. Let me know some ideas what you'd like us to do to celebrate reaching 1,000 subscribers. That'd be amazing. You know, and again, I don't know if we've made it to 1,000 by the time this video has come out. In fact, I'll probably end up posting about it, you know, or doing another video about it. I don't know, either or. But anyways, we are kind of coming full circle-ish, I guess. If we are reaching 1,000 subscribers by the time this comes out, or if we're reaching 1,000 subscribers with this video, who knows? With Greymon, because I'm a Greymon guy, and I've got to do my Greymon stuff every now and again, and we do have new Greymon stuff in EX9, which is very exciting. So this is the build that I've been working with proxies. Apologies that this isn't with real cards or real proxies like the other day. I actually realised I've only got 2 copies of one of the cards that features most heavily in this deck, so I decided to do this one electronically instead. Again, let me know if you guys prefer it physical or electronic or whatever. We'll try and prioritise one over the other. Sometimes the electronic way is so much easier for me though, in terms of just everything really, but you know, whatever you guys prefer, we will do. That's no worries at all. Anyways, starting with our egg, I've gone with the BT9 Koromon. This is essentially an OTK build we've gone for. It doesn't have to OTK, but it is the main game plan. So the Koromon just really helps us out, giving 1,000 DP to our Greymons and our Omnimons, just to give us a little bit of a boost, because having that extra DP is really important. Then going into our rookies, we've got 3 copies of the Agumon X. This is just to help us with searching our cards, our Greymons and our Omnimons, as well as our X Antibodies, which we are playing as a 4 of, because X Antibody is really explicitly important to one of our combos. Then we've got the BT21 Agumon. I went with this instead of the BT14 one for a couple of reasons. One, if you're trying to build this deck the first time, this is a hell of a lot easier to obtain because it's a common. And 2, although the BT14 Agumon has the ability to digivolve up into a Greymon if we've got a Tai in play, there's 2 issues with that. 1, it promotes staying in your raising for too long if you don't see your Tai. and 2, we do have a different Digivolution combo that we could do. So it just makes sense. Plus, this Agumon, third reason, although it can only, in this deck, because of the traits, it can only get back our level 6s, so the Dragonkins in the deck. That's still pretty good. Being able to just even get a single piece from the trash is fairly important in terms of our consistency in our building. So we've got as many consistency tools in this deck as possible to make it work, which is why I went with this one over the BT14. They both have the same inheritable, giving 2000 DP, but the Agumon, this Agumon, is actually does it generically, whereas the BT14 Agumon only does it for Greymon and Omnimon. And obviously that doesn't matter for this deck, but I just think the BT21 is the way to go, because it puts you in less of a trap, helps you with finding pieces from places that you normally wouldn't be able to obtain them from. Granted, the BT17 Agumon and the on the way BT22 Agumon can grab more, but then neither of those give us 2000 DP, and we're not doing any sort of DNA shenanigans in this deck. So that inheritable ends up being kind of, you know, if you plan for that inheritable, that's perfect, but you know, or if you prefer having more options for the consistency, that's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, Greymon is such a toolbox deck. You can play it however you want. I've seen multiple different content creators like B-Boy Stunner and Digipanda playing it in different ways to how I'm playing it. You guys play it how you guys want to. We're all here to just give you ideas, you know. But this is what I've kind of preferred, at least for me. Then going into our level 4s, we're missing a level 3. Sorry, we've of course got the BT12 Agumon, still the best searcher in the entire Greymon archetype. Grabs you a Greymon or an Omnimon, as well as a Tamer card with Tai in its name. Does a really great job. Then into our and also gives you 1000 DP as the inheritable. All turns, by the way, not bad. Then we've also got the level 4s, Greymon X. Super simple. It just gives us a protection effect, getting rid of two same level Digimon from our stack. Sorry, I can't talk today apparently. You know, to then survive being deleted or returned to hand or deck. You know, pivotally, there are other ways that we can be removed that this no longer protects us from, like being put in security or you know, stuff like that really, but deletion and bounce effects cannot touch us, so that's pretty good. Then we've got 4 copies of the ST1 Greymon, still putting in work. It is the GOAT of, you know, just random structure deck stuff from ages ago. Though saying that, if you haven't spotted it already, we are playing another card from that very same structure deck, and I'll get into why later. But the Greymon, just here to give us a security tap +1. It's still, to my knowledge, one of the only level 4s in the game that just gives generic security tap +1. I think if there are other security tap +1 modifiers from level 4s, they tend to be locked to an archetype, whereas the Greymon is just super generic still, and brilliant. Then we've got the Greymon X from BT11. Of course, it is limited, and as much as I would like it to come off the ban list, I also completely see why it's not, because we've got more 2-color MetalGreymons. So this is just bonkers. It has a your turn effect to essentially reduce the cost of the Digivolution of this Digimon into a card with Greymon in its name, and you reduce the amount of the Digivolution cost by the amount of colors of that card you're going up into. So both of our level 5s in this are dual color, which means we're reducing them by 2, which is pretty nuts. And it was nuts back when it first came out. It's still nuts now, which is why it's still limited. You know. Next we've got the BT12 Greymon. Now this is a bit more of a flex spot in the deck. For the longest time I was testing with the BT17 Greymon, the secret rare. But reason I decided not to go with that is, although that one is great for giving us a bit of DP and doing a bit of removal, ultimately having that DP kind of stick around for ages is better. Plus also there's a kind of an interesting combo where if you've got a rookie out and you move your stack out, the combo that you could do in this with the new Alteras mode, playing out a Tamer to Digivolve, you can then also do with this. So if you don't have a tie out, you Digivolve your rookie into this, then your Alteras Mon will trigger to go and Digivolve up because a Tai Kamiya has been played. So I just figured that's another interesting way of doing that combo. You know, for the same amount of cost potentially, whilst also netting us a draw. So I thought that was a good combo for this. That 1000 DP does also really help us as well, but you could just as easily be playing something like BT17 Greymon, as I mentioned, or something like BT5 in this slot as well. Those would both work great in this slot, but this is the one I ultimately went with. Then we're going into the new cards for this deck, the EX9 cards. First, the MetalGreymon, the DM1. It does have a effect to reduce its play cost by trashing a Cyborg or a version 1 trait from your hand, but I find that never comes up. It could. It definitely could. But it's probably not. I'll be honest. The more important things about it, though, is it's got this one Digivolving effect, which is by placing one Digimon card from your trash face down as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, you delete up to 5,000 DP total worth of your opponent's Digimon, and then for each of this Digimon's face down Digivolution cards, you add 2,000 to this effect's DP maximum. So as long as you're adding that card, that is 7,000 DP you'll be able to do. And that is across the board. So it's only going to be small things that you're going to be able to delete with that, but still deleting up to 7,000 DP's worth of Digimon is not bad, especially if they've gone very rookie heavy or something like that. Could get rid of some key floodgates. There are some level 4s and even level 5s with a threshold of around 7,000 DP. So I mean, this has 7,000 DP, for example, but that's there. But the most important thing is that security attack +1. Now, we already got a level 5 that has security attack +1 in the inheritable. We have the structure deck MetalGreymon, but this one's better because of the fact we can reduce its Digivolution cost more with the Greymon X, and because it's got that little removal effect, whereas the I think it's ST14 Greymon, MetalGreymon, basically just a blocker, and that was it. So technically speaking, you could play that instead if you wanted like a backup to this and you weren't looking to get like a playset of an SR, but ultimately for me this is the better one to go with. Then we've got the Alteras Mode, and Alteras Mode is probably the most exciting card Greymon has had access to in a while, at least for me. Has an on-play when Digivolving effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP or less, which, as I mentioned in the Omni Adventure video on Monday, that one, this has got the same deletion effect that WarGreymon has from BT17, which is nuts. But the more exciting effect of it is when any of your Digimon or Tamers with Garurumon or Tai Kamiya in their names are played, or any of your Digimon digivolve into a Digimon with Garurumon in its name, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with Greymon in its name in the hand without paying the cost. So obviously anything involving Garurumon there doesn't matter, but what is most pivotal is when any of your Digimon or Tamers, and the Tamer is Tai. So if you play a Tai, as I mentioned with the Greymon combo, so with the BT12 playing out a Tai, or if you even hard play one, you then get to digivolve up into a Digimon with Greymon in its name for free, which is dumb. That's really stupid, because there's a lot of Digimon with Greymon in their names. It's not even specifically WarGreymon, which I find really interesting, actually. The fact that this is a very TIE-focused card, it's adventure-traded, for example. I would have expected it to be specifically WarGreymon that it would let you go up into, a bit like the Agumon, the structure deck Agumon. But the fact that it's any Greymon really opens up the floor for a lot of different top ends. And basically, you could play a bunch of different top ends in this, and we'll discuss that in the tech options as well. Then, also, on top of that, it gives a huge DP boost. It gives us 4,000 DP. Like, we are not worrying about DP in this build. We've got little 1k boosts here and there, and then Alteras Mode is like, cool, yeah, hold my beer, have 4k. It's stupid. It's a really stupid card, and I love it. I love it because it's stupid. And the fact is, these two are the absolute reason. I mean, Alteras Mode probably is absolutely the reason to still keep Greymon X on the limited list, I'll be honest, as much as I would like to see it come off, to see Greymon really come into its stride again. Next, we go into our level 6s. We've got 4 copies of the BT14 WarGreymon. Now, this is the card that I said earlier, I only have 2 copies of this, I don't have 4, so I need to try and acquire 2 real copies of it, which is really annoying as well, because a few months ago they were like £3 a copy, but I hopped onto Card Market just the other day and they've gone up to about £20 a copy. I am livid that I did not pick them up when I should have. It's a fantastic card. It can warp. We don't necessarily want to in this build, but it can warp off of a Agumon if you've got a tie in play and they've got a Digimon with 10,000 DP. Then has a when Digivolve effect to gain raid, and then it may attack, and that may attack is the more important thing. Both of our level 6s have a then it may attack effect, which is really cool. And then, when attacking, if you have a Tamer, which you will have because of the combo, this Digimon gains security tap +1 and piercing. So it's just a really, really good way of getting more security tap +1. I mean, with this build, we've got so many different ways of gaining security tap +1. We could very easily OTK using this card as part of our main combo. So it's just a really, really good card for that. Then we've also got the promo Gaiomon. I've gone with this one because, again, this one has a then it may attack kind of effect. The moment we've got up into a level 6, that's it. We can start going for it. Now, obviously, this one does not gain security tap +1 for the turn like the WarGreymon does, which is why I've put it at 2 copies. But if you've even done like 1 chip you know, with one of your rookies or something like that, then this card can be part of like a pseudo OTK. But it is great. It's got reboot and blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. This Digimon, so you give one Digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn. One of your opponent's Digimon must attack at start of main, which is really good, and then this Digimon can attack, you know, which is really nice. And there's an all-turns effect of when attack targets change, trash your opponent's top security stack. So if we are in a position where we need to be more defensive, the Gaiomon is there to help us. Yeah, we don't have as many ways of boosting ourselves. We can only really boost up to 15k on the opponent's turn just because of some of the cards we're playing, but we could always adjust that, maybe play something else to give us an extra little boost. But the main reason it's here is because it's of that, then it may attack thing, just like with the WarGreymon. Then we've got the Omnimon X. I'm so tempted to pick up an extra copy of this, or maybe even 2 copies of this, you know, to kind of facilitate more of this combo. But essentially the main combo we've got in this is we climb all the way up into WarGreymon or Gaiomon, and then we go up into, we swing, trigger X Antibody, go into Omnimon X, do all of our checks, and then end of turn, one of your Digimon gains rush for the turn and attacks without suspending. So the Omnimon X then just goes pow, bam, you're gone. You know, it's got raid, piercing, blocker, on play when Digivolving. If Omnimon or X Antibody and X Antibody would be in your stack as per your combo, you select one Digimon from each side and everything else then gets deleted. Then you bottom deck something as well. So whatever they have left gets, you know, it's just a board clear. It's so good, you know, and just absolutely phenomenal in this build. Then going into our ties, one is a little bit more standard, the other one not so much. First of all, the more standard one, the BT1 tie, sets us to 3, gives us security tap +1 if we've got 4 or more Digivolution cards. Really good in terms of, you know, helping to give us a bit more security stack. I mean, this guy, if he is out, then potentially he makes the Gaiomon live as an OTK. I mean, we've got security tap +1, security tap +1, security tap +1, so that's 4 checks, not bad. WarGreymon, that'll be 5 checks, so it'll be security tap +4, so really nice. Then the other tie is a bit little less standard, which is the ST1 tie. Now the reason I've gone with this one is all of your Digimon get 1000 DP is so, whatever. It's only a your turn effect. But he is more searchable than something like the BT12 one. He's also cheaper, although technically speaking, with the combo in this, your BT12 would also cost you 2 because it would gain you 1 the moment you Digivolve up to WarGreymon. But he is more searchable because we can play offense training. We can search this guy safely because he's red. If you would prefer to play the BT12 one, which will give 1000 to one of your Digimon and give blocker to one of your Digimon, as well as also gain a memory when you Digivolve into a Greymon or Omnimon, which, like I mentioned, that will essentially cost the same as doing this combo, you know, then you absolutely go for it. But I went with the ST1 because of the fact we can search it with more things in this build. You know, we could safely do offense training and search for it. Playing it down for 2 cost as well, to then trigger the Alteras Mode's Digivolution effect, to then go up into WarGreymon or Gaiomon for free, I think is really, really nice. I think it's a really cool effect. It did mean I had to bust open my sealed box of ST1, which maybe from a collection standpoint was not a good idea. But who knows? I might try and get another one at some point and keep that one sealed. I don't know. But yeah, I really like it. It's really funny just for that combo. But if you wanted to play something that had a bit more utility like the BT12, absolutely go for it. We're kind of streamlined a bit more in this deck. We're less versatile, but like we're a little bit more settled in our niche, as it were. Then, as I mentioned, I've got offense training in here just to help us searching all of our red cards, which every card bar X Antibody is red, so that really helps us, including all of our Tamers, so really nice. Does help us with climbing up as well, cheapening our Digivolution costs, so not too bad at all. And then we have also got the 4 copies of X Antibody just to facilitate that combo. So as per the combo, kind of, I'll explain it again. Also, it's going to security because it gets us a memory if it gets hit. But essentially, when we attack with this, having placed it under one of our Digimon, we'll Digivolve up into something with X Antibody in its traits. So the whole plan is to go all the way up into Alteras Mode, put X Antibody underneath, play one of our ties, whichever one. This one to give us more security attack, this one if we wanted to be a bit more cheap. Digivolve into WarGreymon or Gaiomon, then they may attack, so even if we've passed turn, we can attack with them. With the WarGreymon, we'll gain that security attack +1, whatever. With Gaiomon, obviously not much else will happen, other than forcing them to attack in. And then we go up into Omnimon X. and we go into this Omnimon X, clear all this security in one go, and then use its end of turn to to win from there. So it's a really cool. Like this is a version of Greymon that I am most excited for a while, and I think it is very fun. But let's talk about some tech options now. So let's take a look at our top end tech choices, because this is kind of the main thing that could differentiate. I would probably think to myself, if I was building this sort of build, you could pretty much just keep the majority of the lower kind of cards in this and just change your top end. You could go full Gaiomon, for example. Put in the BT9 that's got security type +1. That'd be pretty cool. You could go into the EX4, not that one, EX4. So you can then do the full combo, just to replace this and just go fully into the Gaiomon type stuff, and that could still get you full combo as well, because you could go WarGreymon into Gaiomon, into this Gaiomon, sorry, trash something, attack in, do all of the checks. You wouldn't then be able to do the end of turn of this, because you've already done an end of turn effect though, so just bear that in mind. You could go for stuff like the Black WarGreymon stuff. Black WarGreymon would be great with this build, because we could be a bit more aggressive, we could be a little bit more aggro with it and have a bit more punching power. There's so many different things that you can use with this Alteras mode. You just you're not locked into it. I mean, hell, you could use like Emperor Greymon. Where is he? You could use the BT18 Emperor Greymon. That does gain security type +1. It unsuspends. It does a lot of shit. Like, it's just really cool. You could use the promo one as well. I have tested with the promo one. Obviously, this will delete more, and if you manage to retain turn, again, this has security type +1. It doesn't retain it for the turn, though, like the BT14 does, which is why I ultimately prefer the BT14 in my top end. Then, going a little bit down in terms of levels, then we could also take a look, as I mentioned, to stuff like BT5. This gives us a bit more DP, it gains us some memory if we digivolve off an Agumon. You could go into MetalGreymon from BT8. There's so many different choices you could make. Hello, just changing this up again because I also had to change out the outro of this because of the wonderful news of us making 1K. I hope you guys really like this deck profile. If you want to see some gameplay of this channel, this featured on the channel at some point, please do let me know. I want to try and get some more gameplay on the channel. It's been a rough couple of months for us for availability, just because we've had a lot of people that have been unwell, a lot of people working, just general adult stuff going on. That has meant that we've not been able to kind of get on with stuff for the channel in terms of gameplay. It's why we haven't done a Jank Tank 10 in a while. Which, speaking of, if you guys would like us to try and sort out a Jank Tank 10 for our 1K celebration, or indeed do something else like a stream or something, I don't know. I've been thinking about loads of things I want to do for like the 1K celebration thing, whether it's a stream or a Jank Tank 10 or maybe something else like a Jank Tank World Series. That's an idea I've had in my head, which I think would be really cool. Doing like Digimon versus the world or something like that. It'd be really cool. Just a bit of fun. But I've not sorted out any of that stuff because I've been very busy myself. I think we'll try and sort out something. But let me know in the comments. I might even put a poll out about what you guys would like to see for like a 1K celebration as well. And we'll just take it from there. But thank you again, all of you, for subscribing to this channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, give it a think. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to. Like the video if you'd like to as well. We massively appreciate anyone who is into our content. So please do consider it. Thank you for just checking us out, even if you don't subscribe. Just thank you. I'm in a very thankful mood, I'll be honest. I'm in an incredibly thankful mood. But anyways, like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and we'll see you again on the next video, whenever that may be. But until then, keep it digital.